So imagine this. You've spent years building your podcast or YouTube channel. People know your brand, they quote you, they wear your merch, and then one day you get an email and it stops your heart. Someone else has trademarked your show's name. You can either fight or you can rebrand. This is a nightmare I wouldn't wish on anyone. Hey, it's Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and today on Legit Podcast Pro, we're addressing a question that far too many creators ignore until it's too late. Do you actually own the name of your podcast or YouTube channel? Let's talk about how trademarks protect your brand, when you need one, and how to avoid the painful, expensive mess that happens when you don't. So why does this matter? Well, you've poured your energy into this thing. Late nights brainstorming the perfect name. You've designed your artwork. Maybe you got help from Fiverr or you did it yourself in Canva. You've grabbed the social handles and bought the domain, and maybe even you've launched merch and those kinds of things. People know you by this name. It's how they find you. It's your brand identity. But here's the kicker. Just because you came up with the name doesn't mean that you own it. Legally, ownership isn't about who thought of it first. It's about who protected it properly. So let me ask you, if someone else started using your show name tomorrow, could you put a stop to it? Most creators can't, and that is really a problem. So here's the painful reality, and I've seen this play out way too many times. Podcaster spends years growing their show. Downloads are climbing, sponsors signing, merch selling, and then one day a cease and desist letter shows up. Someone else, maybe a bigger company, maybe not, registered the trademark for the same or a similar name, and now they want you to stop. So they either spend tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees fighting it, or they rebrand and they start from scratch. Rebrands hurt. It's painful. It's time-consuming. You lose recognition. You confuse the audience. Your SEO takes a hit, and your momentum is gone. That is why trademark protection isn't a luxury. It's not optional. It's a business move. Now, what a trademark actually is will clear up this big misconception. A trademark isn't just a name or logo. It's actually a legal tool. It is what you use to say, this brand is mine. No one else in my field is allowed to use it. And in the US, we do operate under a first use based system. That means that if you're the first to use a name in commerce, actually selling something or producing under that brand, then you have rights. But here's the catch. Those rights are limited, they're local, and they are messy to enforce without a trademark. If you want nationwide protection, you have to register with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO. And that registration gives you stronger presumptive rights in all 50 states. It's your proof of ownership. Without it, it's like having a house but no deed. You can live there, sure, until someone else claims it's theirs. So, now, there is this other area where creators get confused. People say, well, I used it first, so I'm fine. And technically, yes, the US is this first use-based country, not first to file. But proving first use in court is challenging. It's expensive. You'd need to show documentation, dated records, evidence of commerce, and even then, that could cost you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to oppose or cancel someone else's registration. So, while first use technically matters most, in practice, first to file often wins because they've got that official USPTO certificate saying it's there, and it's hard to fight that. That's why proactive filing beats defensive fighting every single time. So why are creators especially vulnerable? Well, let's be real. Podcasters, YouTubers, and creators, they pour everything into the content. You focus on production, marketing, growth, but legal protection, well, it's usually kind of an afterthought. And it only becomes urgent after the brand really takes off. That's when imitators, opportunists, and copycats show up. So here are a few real-world examples I've seen. There's a growing podcast that loses its name to a network that files first. Downloads plummet after the forced rebrand. That's one. A YouTuber gets blocked from selling merch on Amazon because no trademark, no access to Amazon's brand registry. A creator partnership explodes into a dispute over who owns the show name. and neither can keep using it because they didn't work that out and do a registration properly. These are not hypotheticals. These things happen every single week. So now let's bust a few common myths. 1, I'm too small and no one will care. Well, that's not true. Growth is exactly when someone else takes notice and maybe files first. Another misconception, well, I gave credit. Well, credit doesn't equal legal rights. Trademarks are about ownership and not attribution. Or, well, I've got the .com, so I'm safe. No. Domain names and trademarks are totally separate things. You can own the URL, but still infringe on someone else's trademark. And you might even be forced to give up the URL. Here's another one. It's too expensive. Filing does cost a few $100s, and legal help is a bit more. But even with professional help, it's a fraction of what a rebrand or a lawsuit would cost. So think of it like insurance for your reputation. Now, what makes a great trademark? Let's face it, not every name is going to qualify. If your show is just called the Sports Talk Podcast, well, sorry, that's going to be too generic. If it's daily marketing tips, that's descriptive, not distinctive. The best trademarks are distinctive. That means they're unique and memorable. They make people think of you and only you. Names like Smartless or How I Built This or My Favorite Murder are the kinds that really stand out. So before filing, do a proper search. The USPTO's database is available for the public. It's at uspto.gov. Check for similar names in your category, especially in classes 9, 16, and 41 if you're a podcaster or a YouTube. Now, if you're not sure what that all means, that's exactly the kind of thing I teach inside my Easy Legal for Podcasters program, where I walk creators step by step through the protecting of their brand and business, how to register your trademark yourself, DIY, without a lawyer. So, think of trademark registration like building a fence around your property. Without it, anyone could walk across your lawn. With it, you're saying, hey, this is mine, stay out. And once it's registered, your brand becomes more than a name. It's an asset on your books. You can license it. You can expand it into new products or spin-off shows. You can even sell it someday as part of your business's valuation. That's the kind of protection that separates hobbyists and amateurs from the professionals. So here's the takeaway. If your podcast or YouTube channel is anything more than a hobby, if it represents your brand, your business, your livelihood, then it really is time to protect it. Don't wait till you're too successful. That's when you're most vulnerable. Do it now. If you're ready to secure your creative brand, visit podcasttrademark.com and get my free guide. You'll learn how to register your mark the right way and keep the brand that you've worked so hard to build. Because your name isn't just a title. It's your legacy. It's your brand. It's your business. That's it for this episode. I'm Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and I would love to hear from you if you have questions or comments. Leave a comment on the video or the audio, DM me, or visit firemark.com/questions. And in the meantime, stay legit and keep on podcasting. I'll see you soon.